Farewell to Yumi at 6 and rest in peace Kerrang TV. Let's talk about this week in metal. After a long career as a band, Yumi at 6 have just announced they are calling it a career. After what will be 20 years next year, they're wrapping it up with a big tour, including their last festival appearance in the UK at Slam Dunk Festival this summer. Frontman Josh has shared in interviews that everything's fine, there's no kind of animosity within the band, but they just feel like it's time to call it a career before people start saying they're more washed up and things like that. They want to do it on their own terms and in their own way, which is quite respectable, to be fair. He also added they've been talking about this idea for quite a while, so they haven't just been spontaneous with this, it's obviously been discussed for some time. And after their last release, Truth Decay, being quite successful and one of their most, successful albums in recent history for them, they want to end it on such a high note in a big way. And I think it's been quite nostalgic because they're a band that obviously have been around for so long, have influenced other bands that people listen to now, and yeah, a nice send-off for them should be quite cool. And fair play, congrats on 20 years, and sorry if you're a fan. Now, Channel 4 have announced they're closing some of their channels they operate with in terms of wanting to be just an online streaming service pretty much by 2030. And this sadly includes Kerrang TV. Now, if you're like me, you kind of grew up on that, and Scuzz, they're important parts of like a staple of this rock alternative heavy scene, and to see this go away is quite sad. Obviously it still lives on in magazine, online format, as things have progressed throughout the years with media, but to see this kind of part of like childhood disappear, go away, it kind of leaves you thinking about old things like MTV as well, which used to be around properly as MTV and used to actually watch music videos. That kind of part of history has really disappeared, and I think gets forgotten about too much now. The art of sitting down watching music videos and bits and pieces like that. I remember watching American Idiot, the music video for it, and falling in love with Green Day back in the day as a kid. So I think it's an important part of history that we don't think about and reflect about enough. So rest in peace to Kerrang TV, and kind of makes me feel old right now, to be honest. Now, Loathe are on tour at the minute in Europe, supporting Architects, with Spiritbox also on the tour. And sadly, on Wednesday, 31st, they announced that they had a bit of bus trouble. There was a tyre blown out on the way to Stockholm, which unfortunately they weren't able to play. Only a tyre blew out, which is quite fortunate. Obviously, we've had some proper accidents that have happened whilst bands have been on the road. Look at Ghost Inside, look at Year of the Knife, and it's quite good that this is only minimal. But obviously, it shows the sacrifices and things that can happen on a tour, and thank God they're all safe, and hopefully we don't get any more of these kind of accidents. Now, Ocean's 8 Alaska have just come out with a brand new song, Endless Hollow. If you've been a fan of the band, and you know there's been some inconsistencies, not just in their releases, but with band members, in particular vocalists, we've now seen that James Harrison, the original vocalist, who came then back for album 3, after Jake Noakes was in for album 2 and then left, a weird history. James Harrison is now gone, and we now have another new vocalist. Former Silent Screams vocalist Jay Hayward is now on vocals for them, as well as Ocean's 8 Alaska losing guitarist Adam. Now, dropping down to a 4-piece, they're quite instrumental with their sound. I think they work better as a 5-piece, so thinking about the live format, I'd be intrigued to see how they would kind of translate to being a 4-piece live. I would expect maybe some backing tracks and stuff like that because of so many intricate parts they have played, but there's kind of bigger news with this. So vocalist James Harrison has put out quite a lengthy statement talking about why he's left, including pointing towards things that happened in the past, things that are going on now, some possible shady business practices with how band members are getting revenue splits, how writing processes have forced some band members out of the equation during that time. A little bit interesting, a little bit concerning as a fan of Ocean's 8 Alaska myself, as well as then also talking about making misogynistic and homophobic remarks. Obviously, something you never want to hear. Oceans have since put out a statement saying that they refute these claims and they don't believe in any of that, and they're all for inclusivity and everything. So make of it what you will. I guess a little bit there, a bit of he said, she said in a way. Who knows? Let's see how it develops over the next few months, and I shall keep you updated. Now, in terms of new releases, it's still quite quiet at this start of the year, but I'm going to shout out one album in particular that I know we're going to be reviewing on the podcast this month, and that is Death Can Wait by Being as an Ocean. It was so cool seeing them headline at Burn It Down Festival last year. Really, really cool show. My first time seeing them in particular. Very excited for this album. Enjoyed the singles coming out to it. And so make sure you stay tuned, listen to the podcast, and you'll hear all our thoughts on this new release. Like the video, comment down below if there's anything you think I've forgotten or any big new releases that you think we should check out. Join the Ragamuffin Club. We've got a community on Facebook now. We want to talk to you guys more because sometimes the YouTube comment section doesn't quite cut it. So link is in the description. Join and come speak with us because we all love music. Let's talk about it more. Subscribe to the channel and I will see you next time on This Week in Metal.